every time I shed tears in the last past years, when I pass through the hills. Oh, what images return, oh I yearn for the roots of the woods, that origin of all my strong and strange moods. I lost something in the hills. I lost something in the hills.
Your joy is your sorrow unmasked, and the selfsame well from which your laughter rises was oftentimes filled with your tears. And how else can it be? The deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain. Khalil Gibran.
So I know my intro was a little dramatic, but I wanted to illustrate to you the process of grief that we go through as humans and how important it is that we do that for ourselves. I definitely have gone through eras, chapters in my existence where everything was very opaque or, lackluster. There was a lack of vibrancy and color because of the fact of the events and circumstances surrounding my life. So when we go through these, dark nights of the soul, when they stretch out into these, long tunnels where we just don't know the end, we just have to continue to make that leap of faith, trusting and knowing that even through the darkness, we're going to find that light. But one of the most important things that we must do is face the darkness. So around solstice time, back in December, I was invited to go to a grief ceremony. This was an event that was taking place in the community that I live in, and people were coming together to gather in the intention of releasing the past and, allowing themselves to go through that grieving process. So through that experience, through that somewhat of a portal that opened up for me through that time, I realized that it was my duty to myself to go into that portal and face what had happened in my past. And that was not easy. That was one of the scariest times in my life, was knowing that Spirit was asking me to go into a chapter of grief. I was being asked to take a huge leap of faith, move to a new area and focus my entire being on healing the trauma and the abuse that I had gone through in my past. So I'll tell you that once I was able to set myself free and let go of the pain and just truly just swim around in the unknowing, it's almost like we don't know what our identity is when we're in that deep state of grief. There is so much pain that we just completely almost lose it. But once I allowed myself to kind of just swim around in that freedom and that chaos of pain, I started to realize that something beautiful was happening. I was starting to disidentify with it all. So this karmic soup, if you will, that I was in, it started to cleanse itself, almost like a pond. Once you start to clean the bottom of a pond, all of the muck from the bottom starts to rise to the top. It is a painful process. It's not fun. And, it takes time. It's not overnight. And I'm still somewhat going through it, just to be perfectly transparent. But I will say that the vibrancy has come back. The color, what was missing before, is starting to fill in the blanks. It's like life renews itself. Life goes on. As unfortunate as it is sometimes to have to walk away and to let go, we always get to go through a renewal, a rebirth. A strategy that I really used was to just focus on where I really wanted to be, what type of person who I wanted to embody, what type of people did I want to surround myself with. Once I kind of had some sort of focal point through all, the madness, that's when I started to feel it's almost like my ship started to steer itself towards those things. So it's like setting that intention will really give our subconscious mind those anchors to find in our, everyday waking life experience. We'll start to find what we're looking for. And I think I'm just really making this video because collectively, we are definitely in a grieving process. A lot of what we knew is crumbling away. We have to be ready for what is next, but at the same time, we got to allow ourselves to process this pain and this emotion. Whatever comes up, whatever it may be for you, it's all valid. Not everything in life works out the way you want it to. And that has been a big source of disappointment for me and my ego. But at the same time, I've learned to just flow with it and to see what the universe wants to gift me. Like, we have to get out of our own way a lot of times in order to be blessed. I'm sending this video out to anybody who is suffering and experiencing pain. I just want to send my heart out to you and let you know that you're not alone in that. And that in some way, on some level, we do go through this collectively together. So don't be afraid. Take that leap of faith and go fully into your grief. So it does take a lot of vulnerability to let something go, but that is true strength. I once knew a man who in his childhood was very, demoralized. He was cut down harshly from his parents. They wouldn't allow him to express his feelings and emotions. And over the years, it accumulated in his body and eventually came out as dis-ease, cancer. And this man really had to face the fact that his grief was killing him. And that goes for anyone. It goes for all of us. We all must face this pain, or we face the consequences of what it will do to our bodies over time. So that really motivated me on my journey to make sure that I'm not holding anything. I'm not suppressing any type of pain. And if I am, I allow myself to go into it deeper and sit with myself and honor it and fully release it. A lot of times it's me asking my inner child, what's wrong? What happened? How can I make this better? And we just need to listen to the answers that we get. I know it's completely possible for us to release our pasts and to move beyond those limitations. But it takes vulnerability. It takes us being totally honest with ourselves and diving into those deep, deep waters, those realms that are, pretty scary to go into. But that vulnerability, us choosing to take that leap of faith, that equals pure strength. That is our truth. So I'm making this video for anybody who's going through that process right now. It is valiant of you to continue to sit with yourself and to honor your pain. And just know that on some level, on a collective level, we are in this together. And I wanted to touch base and connect with you on that, since we are going through such a tumultuous time in our world. So yeah, we got this. We just have to dig in now, continue to take care, deep care of yourself. And thank you so much for watching my videos. And I'm sending you love. Peace.